Jake, you tell us when you're ready and then we'll kick it off.
Sure. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Select Board meeting. It's Wednesday, January 28th. We're starting a couple minutes late, but I wanted to let everyone know that this meeting is being videotaped and live streamed. We had a heck of a storm the other day, and I want to thank the fire chief for helping out with our custodian and shoveling the town hall front steps. So it's good that everyone pitches in together to help one another. So let's stand for the pledge. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Item number one. Oh, I do want to make one announcement. We had,
Live stream recorded. I don't know if you said it.
I did.
Okay,
Yep.
sorry.
Yep. I just wanted to make an announcement. It's not very often that we change from a Tuesday to a Wednesday, but one of our members had a conflict, so we were able to, rather than cancel the meeting for this week, we're able to move it for one day. I know that there's been a lot of concerns and conspiracy theories out there, but it's simply not a big deal. We had to move it one day to meet this week. I did know that there was a hearing with the Board of Health, but I did not realize it was the same night. There was nothing intentional about it, so just wanted to make that clear to everyone. Number one on the agenda, appoint town administrator.
I'll make a motion to appoint Bob Ayers as Robert Ayers as interim town administrator for a term ending the 30th of June 2026.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I wanted to say this at the last meeting when we had a lot of people weigh in whether Bob was going to be the interim or not, and whether his experience was adequate for the job. I probably should have just made the statement that I've known Mr. Ayers for in excess of 30 years, and I know that he has the personal integrity that if this job is more than what he thinks it is, and he's not comfortable with learning the procedures and what takes place for the town, I know he has the personal integrity to say, hey, you're gonna have to find someone to replace me because this is not for me. But I felt really comfortable with the fact that he was a selectman, a Board of Health member, police officer, and he lived in town his whole life. I know Brookfield is in his heart, and he's gonna do his very best for the community. And I wanted to say that in speaking to him, he made it really clear that he's not just doing it for the money. He's willing to take a significant lower hourly rate than our previous town administrator. So if that doesn't speak for himself, nothing does in my opinion. So I just want to put all the conspiracy theories to bed that I think Bob will do a great job, and if it's too much, he's going to let us know about it right away. So, and then I did get some emails suggesting that he be the interim, and when Ron was appointed, he kind of came in late in the game. His pay wasn't there for the whole fiscal year. So that was one thing we were able to correct by appointing him till the end of the fiscal year. Now the monies will be there, and then if we want to re-up, if he wants to re-up, then we'll have it in the budget to move forward. So I'm hoping that he hits the ground running, and it's a great experience for him and the town of Brookfield and everyone involved. So I can't say enough about it. So anyway, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome aboard.
Thank you,
All right.
thank you.
Welcome.
All right, number 2, I'd entertain a motion to appoint another on-call EMT for the Brookfield EMS.
I move to appoint Jared Maldonado as an on-call EMT basic.
Is that something,
Oh, sorry, I was just,
can you mute
is there
that,
public comment?
please?
Yeah, I can mute
Well,
you.
there's public comment, but you have to be muted until we ask.
I just muted him.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can you, Brad, what would you like to have discussion on?
I just wanted to say thank you for taking that into consideration in regards to the appointment of Bob Ayers. Nothing against him. I think that's the right move to go the interim route, and I wish him all the best.
Brookfield regulation went into effect.
I'm just gonna give it 2 minutes, but
Oh, he's done.
he's done?
Yeah.
All right. All right, number 3, review highway funds, chapter 90 COVID funds. Lori, do you mind weighing in with us? Jake, do you have a mic set up anywhere so that everyone can hear? Do you have a hand mic or you?
Brad, can you hear us okay in the room? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, these type of speakerphone mics work better sometimes than the directional mics that we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so currently Highway has ARPA funds allocated for road reconstruction. We didn't designate them to a road, just did general road reconstruction. They still have the full amount of $114,284.54. They have to be spent by December 31st of this year, or we lose them. They have Chapter 90 fair share funds left from last year in the amount of $102,281. Those require no project requests. They can just spend them. We already have the money. So there's no extra paperwork.
Is there a time limit on it?
Nope.
No? Okay.
The regular Chapter 90 account has a current balance of negative $152,207.61. So they have some reimbursements that need to get submitted. And I don't know where that stands.
How much was that amount again? Sorry.
$152,207.61.
Oh, wow.
So someone needs to do the reimbursements.
Do you have visibility on the, I want to call it the reimbursement eligibility, like what's beyond the 152 that we can request reimbursement on?
What their total allocation is?
Yeah.
I don't know what they have left over from last year, but our allocation for this year was $287,028. And then we got a supplemental apportionment, which is fair share funds, that we'll be getting $81,482. So 81,000 will just show up in our bank account. Again, same as the 102, we don't have to do project requests, we don't have to do reimbursement. The 287 is reimbursement project based.
Is there a good point of contact or method by which we can identify, because that's not strictly annualized, those typically carry over as well.
They do carry over.
Right, so.
But the 287 is our allocation for this year.
Got it, understand.
Mhm.
It's more of, and I understand that right now there's reimbursements due out and
Mhm.
what have you. Do we have a means, so is there any good way of getting a starting point and a what's remaining of the reimbursement allocations? Or is that something,
Yeah, our project engineer at the state, they track it, so every town has a project engineer, and they can give you a sheet at any point that says, these have been your allocations over the last however many years, and this is what you have requested in project approvals, and this is what you've gotten in reimbursement. This is your current balance.
Great, thank you.
Perfect.
And then they have, the Gay Road Mass Works. The original amount of the grant was $1 million. To date, they've spent $839,979. That was as of the last warrant, not the one that included last week's. So they have $160,020 left to spend in the grant. However, the current balance of the account is negative $574,000. So we are behind in reimbursements in that as well.
Why is that?
We're just not getting our money back as
Okay.
quick as it should be.
Okay.
And I do know we've gotten the filings in. Our first filing was late though, so I'm wondering if that reimbursement wasn't delayed.
So we have only we got our first one, which was from last year, which was like $9,900. And then we got one other reimbursement for $255,000, which we just got in December. And we haven't gotten anything else since.
So is that 255, is that the first amount that was submitted?
Second.
Was the second? It was the first, the 9,900?
Mhm.
Okay.
And
So,
there's
so
been
they're
at least-
just slow then?
Yeah, there's been at least, I think I think 3 were submitted for last year. And the third one was the large one.
Right.
And there was a fourth one that just got submitted middle of January.
Okay.
So, although I did have a question and I missed, see, you probably answered me an email and I missed
I
it.
didn't answer the email because I need to pull the warrant. So that's where the highway department put that bill. So there's no way she could have submitted that bill for reimbursement yet because it wasn't paid. So if she's submitting our bills before they reach a warrant, that's actually against state law for the grants.
Okay.
So they requested that Cormier bill be put to tree.
Yeah, okay. It was just weird because,
I know she had mentioned that bill as well as being one that she was supposedly waiting on per Kyle, but when Devin sent it over, she had it coded to the tree account, which is where I put it. But if she already submitted that in a reimbursement, she can't legally do that. Can't submit bills before they're paid by the town.
okay,
That's a stipulation of that grant.
of that grant, okay,
Well, of all reimbursement grants,
right, okay,
unless you file a hardship clause, which we don't have,
right.
nor would we qualify for.
So then it being in the warrant, it was
Appropriate.
appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, those are all their current available funds, and then they have their regular general funds, which are starting to run incredibly low. Their expense account is 80% spent. They have $12,000 left, and again, that does not include last week's warrant. They have little, their other little accounts like safety equipment and utilities, but that doesn't make it very much. They have about $1,000 here, $1,000 there, but they're over 80% spent, and it's only January. So we're gonna start running into some issues soon, most likely next month.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Thank you very much for bringing us up to speed on all of that. I have a note here that number 4, the charge is not ready. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
seen,
we'll
met,
just-
or talked to Kyle, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll just put it on the next agenda.
Yeah, and I don't have we have the old town administrator job description in the packet today. I had a little bit of a meltdown on my laptop. So the work that I had done to just clean it up in its current state
Okay.
is gone. I'm gonna have to redo it. I actually wanted to have the conversation both with the board, and then once we decide as a board with Mr. Ayers is that in talking with a few folks that are knowledgeable regarding like town administrator job descriptions, one, ours just needs cleaned up because there's a lot of language in there that doesn't really necessarily need to be in there.
Mhm.
But also it's modeled after what's considered a weak town administrator construct.
Versus a town manager, say, or even.
Well, so they refer to it as weak or strong regardless of whether you call it a town manager or town administrator, right?
Mhm.
And it depends on what level of authority that you're giving the individual and how to do it. I think we need to keep the weak model for now. What I'd like to do is clean up the current weak town administrator description near term, but I think we need to have the discussion longer term because a lot of the folks who are professionals in that space are really looking for roles where they have the autonomy that goes with the stronger job description. So I think it's something that I can get some examples and talk it over with Mr. Ayers and maybe he can bring something forward after
So-
a few months.
It seems like some of it's personality too, right? I know our first town administrator had kind of a pretty strong personality versus our second one didn't have such nearly the strong personality. Is that some of it, or are you talking about the actual line items, what, like oversight of the town administrator?
It's the actual line items that
Okay.
we're saying in the town administrator.
Okay.
So,
All right. Yeah, I look forward to see what you submit, and then we'll review it, and then I think what it'll do is it'll give Bob a clear example of what we're looking for, rather than him just guessing.
Right. I think we can talk about in terms of like, and I don't know if you all thought about it, I know I've at least done some thinking on it and looking at the job description is in terms of, I think we owe, and I think this falls under the job description agenda item, I think we do owe him kind of a what does, and maybe he would prefer to share with us of what he sees as being what the first 30 days look like versus what we think the first 30 days look like, and have that discussion whether it's tonight or whether it's next week.
Yeah, I think we need to point him in the right direction and give a clear perspective what we're looking for in the job that he's gonna do. And so if we wanted to hit like the very beginning portion of it, to hold it over and until we can give him his job description, I think that would be good.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that do we wanna have some discussion tonight? We've
Sure.
got him
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
we've got the job description on the
absolutely.
table in terms of like, what do we think is like the most important things coming in? And I just didn't know if you wanted to start with what kind of like your vision is of what you
So
want to
again,
do, or-
during my interview, one of the things that I asked you guys for is to set a goal for me.
Correct.
You need to set the goals. You tell me what you want done, and it's my job to carry it out. I can't be buyer and seller both. I'm saying the first 30 days for me should look like getting acquainted with people. What is that?
I can give you my opinion on that.
Yeah, go ahead,
but
Steph.
it may
Sure.
be different
Yeah, yeah.
all the way down the line. Okay. And the biggest problem we have in town, you're gonna get like 6 different answers from 3 different people, right? To me, one of the most important things for you is to functionally act as a buffer between us and the departments. And the only way you can do that is to get to know everybody, right? Understand what their function is, right? And their troubles, right?
Sure.
And understand what success looks like in their space, both from them and from us, right? And that will take a little bit of time. That's not something you can turn on the switch, right?
I guess we could call it a buffer, but I see my position a way to say, hey Rich, wait a minute, did you hear what Beth really said? I don't want to be a buffer, I want to bring us all together. I want to be a team.
Understood, but
I don't want to be
I mean,
a shield for anybody.
right, and that's probably bad language. Okay, it's really from a standpoint of structurally, we're supposed to be largely a policy and direction board.
Sure.
And not necessarily have to manage the day-to-day, right?
Yep.
Where possible, I'd like to see us actually use that construct, right, of decisions by the board, those decisions by the board flowing through the town administrator, the information, to your point, flowing back up freely.
Yeah.
I think, spending the time doing the one-on-ones, the grip and grin, and really understanding what people's roles are, what their challenges are. Making sure that not just when we're dealing with the employees, but also with some of the folks that are either volunteers or citizens. I understand we just had an issue at the water department meeting with somebody, in a way that we're gonna be lucky if we manage to keep our current water superintendent, right, is making sure that we're having the right conversations with people, and that people feel safe in the workplace.
For sure. That's number one.
Right, and I think one of the things sadly, I think we've almost hit the point where we're gonna have to really partner with Blanchard for what staffing he has to make certain that people feel comfortable that they're safe in the workplace.
So, the one thing that I would like to see is, I would like to see Bob's first couple days, and we just touched on it, to be acquainted with the employees, but also understand their job. But not only that, ask them for help. The employees we do have that are here will be a great help to a new town administrator, i.e. Board, right? But every single department here will be able to explain what they do, what they've done in the past, and we've got some really good help, right? Like Brenda's told me, we've had a good financial team for a long time. It's kind of diminished with losing Sharon. However, I think we're gonna get right back on board with the new treasurer, but I think our employees are gonna need to help our administrator to be successful, and vice versa. So building that team is, to me, the best way forward.
As I said in the interview, Rich, I'll reiterate, I'm not gonna win by myself.
There you go.
You guys aren't gonna win by yourself. If we don't play as a team, none of us are gonna win. You know, sometimes when you're an administrator spot, you have to make some tough decisions, but it's all about building the trust and the team and get a foundation, right? I really don't know what happened in the world. I don't think it's unique to Brookfield. I think a lot of times people can just say whatever on their mind and they can say whatever they want. Let's have a little bit of compassion and some respect. You know, the games should be left outside in your personal life. When you step into the town hall, we should be business and we should be kind to one another. There should be mutual respect there. We're not always going to see eye to eye. That's okay.
We can all agree to disagree on level
Listen to
playing
a
field.
different opinion. I mean,
Agreed.
you got to be open-minded. I'm not going to win them all. I hope I don't lose any.
All right. Anything from your side?
No. You guys said enough. I mean, I have a couple like miscellaneous things that have been going in the town administrator email, so I'll follow up with Bob. Just like the GPS reimbursement from Ford Lamoureux. I got an email from the state regarding a hazard mitigation grant that we took out saying that we're non-compliant. So a couple people have been asking for follow-ups. So I'll get with Bob and ask him to start following up on the small stuff, put it on the agenda and get started on those things.
Okay.
So, I'm thinking the first day will be Monday to work,
please.
is that okay?
Yep.
All right, so the only other thing that I can think of that you're gonna need from us is where your office is gonna be. Because I don't think you have one right now.
So I don't want to pull surprises on people. I'd like to start Monday. but I'd like to stop into the town hall tomorrow, maybe meet briefly with Karen. I would assume there's a computer. I need to be set up with email, et cetera. I need to be able to communicate right away.
Yep.
So Jacob will take care of you in that
Yeah.
regard.
Okay,
It actually was done when you got appointed, so.
okay, thank you.
We've been anxiously awaiting you, Phil.
Yeah, it just, I'll need some just ground
Yeah,
based kind of stuff just to find my way around.
yeah.
Our original conversation that I had with Lori and Sarah was possibly somewhere downstairs without disrupting anybody.
Mhm.
I think we talked about where the little print room used to be for the selectman's office.
I think we could easily move AJ, because she's only in like
That's
2
the one
hours.
he's talking about,
Yes,
yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
She's only in 2 hours twice a week. We just need to find her a new spot, which there's a lot of room where, in Mike's office, where the inspectors have all their desks. And they're not in
During business
during
hours.
business hours, and Jeff's in at night, and Nick pops in every once in a blue moon. So there's plenty of desks over there already.
She leaves at 4 and 1, so
Yeah.
she's not gonna see that at all.
No, she'll never cross paths
Yeah.
with them, so
Okay.
realistically, and there's plenty of room over there
Yeah.
for her to sit and have meetings too, so, it's probably the best.
Do any of you have any thoughts?
No, I would like you to,
Okay.
my personal opinion, and the others can weigh in, but I would like you to kind of float around the building and kind of see
Okay.
what you think makes sense for you, and if that little office is gonna hold you over for now, and maybe the long term, whatever's good for you. It's my opinion that you need to be right amongst everyone, so, the upstairs thing did not work good,
No.
in retrospect, so.
I'm wondering if it might not be better actually to see about, is one of those desks open enough that we could actually put Bob there initially? Where he's not stuck in a closet?
Well,
Sorry. I mean,
I think,
I don't need anything fancy.
no, I understand, but I mean, it's just, it's just, I mean, it's almost like being upstairs, being tucked in that closet, that's all, so.
I think, get acquainted, and then
Yeah.
report back to us what you
Yeah.
think is a better
Okay.
If
situation.
we were gonna do that, honestly, they're like 2 old kids' school desks,
We
put
need to get a
together.
real desk.
So you'd need to buy a real desk. The real desk is actually in that office, but it must have been built in there, because it doesn't go back out the door. It's way bigger than the
Interesting.
door,
The
so
door, yeah.
that desk
Yeah.
belongs in that office permanently.
Okay.
It can be spun in
So-
2 directions, but that's it.
So I would start there, but decide if you wanna stay in there, just if for no other reason, cause you've got a door to close, if for some reason you're talking something that
Okay.
is private.
That was the
Yeah.
only thing I was thinking of, but Mike has different hours too, so,
Yeah.
And he has that extra door between Mike and him
Yeah.
in that little hallway too,
Mhm.
for extra privacy.
yeah, but if you wanna be in the big room with Mike, I mean, we could just buy an actual desk instead of the desks that maybe we got from the elementary school, I don't know. They're like 2 children's desks.
Yeah, they are. Teacher's desks
Yeah.
or something, yeah.
All right, off to number 6 here, water department reconciliation discussion. Beth, you asked for that to be on the
Yeah,
board, so.
I did, because it's come up a couple of times. I know one of the requests when I checked in with the water department about this is that, I guess for the last 2 years, they haven't gotten any of their NSF checks back, like to know what amount they've had in terms of checks that haven't cleared that were written to the water department. And so I'm just trying to understand, like, how much are we really talking about? And what would the process look like that we haven't managed to carve out the time for to just, and I don't mean that lightly, and I don't mean that like as a dig. It's like there's a lot of crap that we have to take care of in town. I get it. And if I was understanding the documentation that was shown to me correctly, we're talking something on the order of, I'm gonna get it wrong, it was either like $480 or $1,100 or $1,400. I knew at one point what it was, but I don't know what the number is right now. Where's the best point in time to sit down and try to just actually get everybody in the room and try to figure out what we need to do to either get to the penny tight balance or determine that it's time to just write it off, since it has, my understanding is it has changed over the years and it's actually gone down over the last couple of years, even though we've had a deviation.
Yeah, so it currently, as of the end of June of '24, the balance difference was $476.56. The difference at the end of '23 was $1,895.87. I don't know what it is at the end of '25, because the problem is, I don't have a difference with the water department. When we balance our books every month, they say they agree with me. The difference that is showing on this sheet is from the auditor, who's saying that the books that they are showing me do not agree with their internal books. So they have an internal balance issue. So they are keeping two sets of books, one in their Badger or whatever software they're using that says you are owed this much from all your receivables. And then at the end of the month, when I send my spreadsheet out for my ledger, I say, this is what we collected, this is the abatements, whatever, this is how much we have, and they say, yep, matches what we took in, we match.
Okay, so the month to month
We're
is
matching.
matching.
At the end of the year, we matched with the
Okay.
difference of like an $1,100, which we knew what it was, which is accounted for in the sheet, because it's up at the top, that 1105 was a bounced check, which they knew about and received a copy.
Okay.
These other amounts at the bottom are internal issues, which I told them they have to give me backup so I can see on their software what is actually owed, which went back to the fact that if we had Vadar for them, I could go in and see what is owed on the accounts. So, but because we don't, and I don't have access to their software, I have no idea who owes what and why this balance keeps changing. And only the auditors get the report at the end of the year. So I've asked since the summer, when I met with Ron and John and Holly and Dennis, to get a copy of this, and at that point, John said he was gonna have Mary Lou do the reconciliation, because she understood how to do it, and because Holly will not work with me, which is fine. She doesn't wanna work with me, and that is fine.
Oh, yeah, let's not get into that right now, so.
But it is what it is, which is why this hasn't been taken care of in 2 years.
Right.
So Mary Lou is
And I'm
gonna
hearing
work
the
with
same
me.
thing from the other side, is that you didn't wanna sit with her, so,
Okay, that's fine.
okay.
So Mary Lou is gonna do it, so she has copies of everything that I have. So I gave her a copy of this, a copy of all the other papers from the auditor, which I requested. And then that never got done either, so that was probably sometime back in September. So to date, there's been zero progress made on this. So we're gonna start our next audit, sometime at the end of March, and it will be in the audit report again that we made no attempt to clean this up.
So,
Well, it's
we-
not March yet, so let's at least
so
have
let me
let's at
ask
least
you
have
this, I have a
some
couple questions. So I've
hopeful
heard conflicting
aspirations.
numbers over the cost of Vadar
Mhm.
versus what the water department thought versus what a resident that works in West Brookfield came in and spoke about.
Right.
So what would the actual cost be to,
So the actual cost of Vadar, which the price proposal that the water department was given, was that they were willing to break it up and honor the price that the water department was given over a year ago. They would still honor the price because of the business I do with them, that they would give them it for $5,860 a year, and that's locked in for 6 years.
so that's roughly, that's less than $11 per water user, is that correct?
Yeah, based on how many users they have. So like $5,800, and that gives them 2 users, or they can pay the upfront cost, which is $15,000, and then on year 2 it drops to $3,900.
So the first year is 5,800, the second year is 3,900?
No, that you have 2 ways of getting it.
Yeah,
You
so
can
you
either
get-
get 6 years at $5,800, or you can pay $15,000 up front and
And
pay
then
$3,800.
$3,900.
Okay,
for the rest of the 6 years.
Oh.
So technically you get a 6-year price lock, even though you only get a 3-year contract.
Okay.
Because they go by what the state allows. So they give you a 3-year contract, but they lock you in for 6 years. But no harm, no foul if you leave after 3 years.
And what about the meters? Nobody,
I have other towns that use Vadar and have old meters. I don't know what brand they are. I can find out. And everyone's been using Vadar forever and has no issues.
Because that was what was said, the meters would have to be changed to the.
yeah, and I would like to,
Didn't make sense to me. But
Yeah,
don't-
I kinda
that's
just-
not
I don't
my
know.
forte.
I did.
that'd be maybe another thing Bob
It
could,
would
in
be-
background
it would
look
be
into,
manual-
yeah.
And it would be manual data entry for everything instead of actually having the meters in the software talk to each other.
So at one point when they started considering this, and back when they started talking about leaning, I did give Dennis the information to the the water superintendent in Hopedale, and said he's more than willing to discuss everything with you. I gave the clerk information over there too. They do water and sewer, so I mean it's much more expensive in their Vadar, but he was more than willing to go over how they do the liens, how they do meters and meter reads and everything else through Vadar. And from what I understood, no one ever reached out to him.
Let's just walk through this though. How much does the current software cost per year?
No, I have no idea.
Or
It was
is
a
there-
small number. It was a
I
very
think
small.
it's like $400 a year or something like that.
It was under 1,000 if I remember,
Yeah.
so.
So, I mean, and I
We're
hate to,
starting
yeah, we're
starting
probably,
to
yeah,
get
we're
off
getting off
track
topic,
here,
right? So, what I'm just saying, if the topic is the reconciliation and the
Mhm.
reconciliation of what we're chasing down is $1,100, we need to really consider that type of investment for that level of discrepancy. Do you understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Well, and then
That's,
at
we got a
one
baseball
point,
bat to kill a gnat.
well, it was 1,800 when?
The year before, so the end of fiscal year 23. Yeah.
So,
But also, does it make sense that the auditors do not ding us anymore for that portion, right?
well,
Because,
we also have 2 months to see if we can get the internal reconciliation done so that it doesn't
Okay.
pop on the next audit. So
Okay.
I think now we have a timeline, right?
Mhm.
The timeline is that internal reconciliation between the Badger software and the books that are reconciled with the accountant needs to get done between now and March. Right, it's not, and it's been clarified that it's not between the department necessarily, it's between the way the software is run, and I know at least, I know they knew where part of that difference came from was from dormant accounts, like stuff that's like literally years old, so I think it's something that could potentially get cleaned up
okay,
and identified, right, in that framework. And then we can put on an agenda for a later discussion, and maybe it's something that Bob talks to the water commissioners about, is do we then invest $30,000 or $25,000 difference in cost of the town over the next 6 years in the interest of not having to track down $1,000 ever again in the future? And I don't know that it's actually, if the juice is gonna qualify for the squeeze, so
mhm,
I think that's a topic for later, like you said,
mhm.
but, thank you for clarifying.
Right, well, what I did tell them though is I need, in order to fix this, all I need is, the list of everyone that's had an open receivable as of June 30th, 24, and then everyone that has an open receivable as of the end of 25, and then as of today. So I just need 3 reports out of their software, because if the difference, if their books are balancing and they have proof to show that they're owed all of this money, I'll write the amount off on my side.
Okay.
But the problem is, without the proof, I'm not making any adjustments, because 6 years ago, I made a massive adjustment on my side to balance my books to them. So these books balanced 6 years ago, and now they don't balance. So
So-
something is going wrong in their software.
I'll have if you guys want, I'll have a discussion with Holly and ask her to get that data to Lori so that we can start this process and start to clean
I
up.
was gonna offer to do it. You prefer to do
I'm
it?
gonna be in anyway, I'm gonna speak to Brenda tomorrow, so,
Okay,
yeah,
alright.
all right. Well, thank you very much,
Thank
Lori,
you.
appreciate it.
Do you have a list of 3 sets of data?
Yep.
So I actually can just briefly speak to it because I'm in 4 different towns for the water district.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with Vadar's billing system, I'm familiar with rural billing, Orion, so there's a variety of pieces of software. And I know what we use in our town, so I can, whatever we end up deciding, I'm eager to help and I can get the data off the meters
system.
and we can convert to whatever format we need.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
Could you, the next time you're in the town hall, explain to Holly what is in the realm of the possible?
Mhm.
That'd be great.
Sure, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, so.
Awesome.
Good. All right, number 7, approved select board minutes for 11/4 and 12/9/25. Beth, you had a question about one of them, I wasn't sure if you got back to.
Yeah, and I didn't get back with, I did not get back with Karen about it, and I don't see a copy of it in here. Oh, there it is. I'd like to, in the future, avoid things like the air quotes on the finishing touches, right? And maybe I use that as the actual term, but really what it is about like addressing like really a completeness around the project, right?
Yes, if it's in a quote, then yes, you did say it.
Okay.
Those words.
It doesn't have to be word for word.
Right, well, that's
No.
kind of what I'm getting at, and a lot of times with the minutes, the problem is we pick when we're word for word and when we're not word for word, and I find that a little,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to
challenging.
summarize it more
yeah,
rather than write a book.
so. You know, other than that, go ahead and just vote them.
Do I have a motion, or are you still looking it over?
Go ahead and vote it.
We have a motion.
I guess I'll make the motion for November 4th, 2025 and December 9th, 2025.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Or any discussion, any other discussion, or you good with the discussion? I guess I would only ask Karen to maybe review a couple other towns and see if there's any way you can make some changes and if it would be quicker and easier for you. And I'm not looking to task you with more, I'm
I know,
hoping to task
yeah.
you with less.
I'm just,
So
yeah.
review some others and take a few minutes and do that, and hopefully we can make your job a little easier.
Yes, and I know I do sometimes go on and on.
Well, sometimes
Left
you
over from my
don't,
reporter days, I
but I
guess,
don't want you to feel like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, so just see if you can shorten it. And if-
Scale it down and summarize.
Because
yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah, but
honestly, it's hard. Honestly, it's hard to read some of these and clearly understand what occurred. Right? There's all kinds of information
You're
there.
right, yeah, you're
But
absolutely
if
right.
you, because like it's almost like watching a ping pong match, trying to read through the minutes, and I think that's where I've struggled a couple of times in trying to. Prove
So what I'm
them.
gonna try to do is I'm gonna start with the vote, and then I'm gonna backtrack from there. Start with the vote, and obviously I'll write it in the correct order, but that's how my mind will do it. And then I'll
Yeah, and
backtrack
to be
the
honest,
summary.
the motion thing, you don't have to, I mean,
The way the motions are written, I know
Yeah,
they're
I
odd,
know.
but that's the way the last TA
I
had
know,
me
I know.
write it. We used to write that, for instance, that Rich entertained a motion, and then it would just be written out that he entertained a motion, and someone else would second it. And is that how
But
you
I
want
don't-
it written down the most more
I think if you just
traditional way?
simply say,
I don't know, so like,
motion was made by.
yeah, motion to
Okay.
so-and-so, and then I just put, so I say a motion was made to, I don't know, make Mr. Chafee service chair. And then I just put Campbell / Coughlin, and then I put everyone's name and write yes or no.
I'm gonna look at yours.
And then
That's a good
just
idea.
do that.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about this, the way I'm doing it, and the way I was told to do it, but yes, I'm gonna look at yours.
Yeah, I feel like the motion's not clear. I feel like
If you
it's
get
hard to
yelled
be able
at-
to backtrack.
If you get yelled at and you're doing them wrong, then we'll modify them again, but
Okay.
please know
No,
that
that's
it's to
fine. I've
make
been
it,
doing minutes for 10 years,
but please
okay.
know that it's to make
Yeah,
it easier
I
on
know,
you,
I know.
alright, and easier to read.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
I'm gonna abstain. Sorry, Karen.
It's okay.
alright, I don't have anything else, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
One thing. The contract for the town hall improvements is all set. I got it today. We both signed. We will be getting reimbursed $500 so far for the first round of installs that we did. So I'll get with Lori and get the second installs. I asked Karen to put it on the agenda for next meeting because we do need to discuss on spending the money.
Okay,
Oh, the balance
the
of the money.
additional.
Well, so the grant is on a reimbursement base, so we have to spend the money first, get reimbursed, but we have to spend all of the money by June 30th.
And
So I've just kind of like come up with a plan.
I have bills, I've already paid for everything associated with the windows.
Yeah, so we can get reimbursed for all of that, and then we can talk about next meeting going forward, what we kind of want to spend the rest of the
So
money
Ken, will
on.
you put that on the agenda for next meeting?
Yeah, I already have it in the
Perfect.
bullpen, yeah.
They are going over budget season, so I am going to approach Donnie and ask for another $25,000 for fiscal year 27.
Perfect,
So we'll see if we
ask
can
for
keep going.
50.
I was gonna say, do we have any? I'm gonna ask, do we have any quotes on what it would, what the true cost would be? Because I mean,
Yeah, more information for them. It'd be hard
Let's talk
to
about
sell
this at the next.
next meeting. But yeah,
we're
I'll
not too
have
far off.
let's
all
let's
the
get that
info
on
and-
let's get that on the agenda.
yeah.
Alright, entertain a motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Alright, thank you.
Uh,
Thank you very much, Lori.
You are
Sorry to keep you
welcome.
here so long.
That's okay.
You're in the town hall tomorrow? What time?
What time are you gonna be there? Because I need to help set stuff up for you too, so.
I'm retired.
All right.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah, that's,
I wait for the double digits before I go out.
okay.
that's fair. Because I was about to ask, are you an early morning-ish person normally or no?
If I could work 5 to 1, I would love it.
Yeah, see,
That's why.
That ain't happening.
I like,
Huh?
Karen,
Beth has to send
Karen's in there
Beth
nice and
Warren
early, I
is
come in at
required
7.
for signature.
That's because I love
Yes,
being in the
you
town
can
hall
get
when
things
there's
done,
time there.
yes. Look where I'm sitting, where I sit.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. That's why I go in, I've been going
Yep.
there for 10 years. I've been doing
Yep.
it. But it's just good because no one's bothering me.
I go in at 7 just because I like the first hour or two where there's literally no one in the building.
Do I need to go see Michael get sworn in?
Yes.
Yes.
Because he's in tomorrow, right?
Yes, he is.
Between